We will make a determination at a later time about Ime's future with us.
Even with the fact that the information on the matter is very limited, Ime Udoka's scandal gets more intriguing as the days go by. The Celtic head coach made headlines on a controversy that is currently rocking the NBA. The Celtic coach, Ime Udoka, was born in Portland, Oregon on the 9th of August, 1977, to a Nigerian father, Vitalis Udoka, and an American mother, Agnes, who came from Illinois. He grew up with two siblings, his brother James and his elder sister, M4 Udoka. She was popular for competing in the Women's National Association. He graduated high school at Jefferson High School in Portland and enrolled at Utah State University Eastern, where he began his collegiate career as a college basketball player. And after 2 years of schooling in Utah, he decided to transfer to the University of San Francisco. But he received his degree from Portland State University, where he finally finished college in the year 2000. Coming from an underprivileged home, Udoka knew basketball could be a route out of poverty, even though his dedication to the sport came mostly for the love of it, going to midnight sessions at the Salvation Army gym and taking buses around to look for pickup games. He often ignored going to most social activities just to spend more time on the court. Playing college basketball in Utah and San Francisco was where NBA scouts noticed the 6-foot forward. But in that same year, he tore his anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, which is a key ligament in the knee. He then went in for surgery where a piece of his hamstring was used to repair the knee ligament. After 4 months of a very short recovery, Udoka returned and spent training camp with the Trailblazers before he was cut and got signed by the Fargo-Moorhead Bees of the International Basketball Association. They paid him around $200 per game and kept him and the team in cheap motels. And after like 10 games into the season, the stress got to him, and he eventually tore his ACL again. With no health insurance, Willie Stoudemeyer, who ran the midnight basketball session where Udoka spent a lot of time as a child, paid for his second surgery. However, this time he was advised by the doctors to consider a new career path as he would risk not walking again if this happened the third time. He didn't stop though. He moved back to Portland, where he spent 8 months loading trailers for FedEx, mostly doing graveyard shifts, then returning home around 8 a.m., eating breakfast, and starting his basketball training, which included pickup games against Trailblazers players. After years of toiling on the fringes of the NBA, which included summer league stops and training camp invites, he made his debut after signing a 10-day contract with the Lakers, when Kobe Bryant got a shoulder injury in January of 2004. His zigzag journey played out with a plethora of stopovers before he was called up from the D-League late in the 2005 to 2006 season by the Knicks. After a couple of ups and downs, which included his father's sudden death and having a 3-year, $9 million contract rescinded on account of his knees, Udoka finally caught a break with the Spurs, who offered him a 2-year, $2.5 million contract. But in 2012, Greg Popovich, the coach of the Spurs, offered him a coaching job. As an assistant though, it wasn't an easy decision for Udoka as he faced the dilemma of closing the chapter on his career as a player. But after years of playing on the court, Udoka made up his mind to move to the sidelines and coach full-time. Doing that, he coached for the Spurs, Nets, and 76ers before landing the head coaching job with the Celtics. The rocky road journey in his career just recently gained a little more turbulence, as he just received a 1-year suspension for having an intimate relationship with a female Celtics staff member. Apparently, the whole thing came to light when her husband overheard a private conversation on a Ring camera. Over the past few days, information on the nature of Udoka's defiance against the team's code of conduct continues to trickle out bit by bit. But a key detail that somehow continued to be a mystery is the identity of the female employee involved in the scandal. Although it was mentioned in a press conference that after an impartial investigation by a law firm, the identity of the female staffer would continue to be hidden, understandably for her privacy. The exact nature of this mystery female staffer's identity, through speculation, has been said to be one of the employees whose duties was to arrange travel plans for the Celtics head coach, which mostly extended to accommodations for his fiancée Nia Long as well, whenever she would follow Udoka on the road. The staffer also had a hand in assisting Nia Long towards her permanent move to Boston, which she reportedly just finalized 2 weeks ago. The team has also confirmed to her the identity of the staffer. The news of his suspension, in no time, gathered a lot of mixed reactions from the sports world, triggering reactions from former Celtics players and those in the media. Stephen A. Smith from ESPN, popular for his unconventional opinions on issues on First Take, felt the same way as 2008 NBA Finals MVP Paul Pierce towards the organization's decision. Smith went off the handle on his Twitter account to say, This suspension of @Celtics coach Ime Udoka is utter bullshit. If you thought I said enough this morning on @First Take, you haven't seen a damn thing yet. 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Friday morning on ESPN. See y'all then. #Total BS. Smith spoke further on the suspension. He said the Celtics, stating that they would make a decision about Udoka's future at a later date, would ruin his career for years to come. He went on to criticize the Celtics for not keeping the details of the scandal under wraps, or even attempting to. He also said that currently, Ime Udoka is an unhireable individual, which is mainly due to the fact that tidbits of the controversy were leaked out and are now being discussed publicly. He further asked whether the adult woman who chose to have an affair with Udoka did not violate any team policy, and how fair it was that he got mentioned and put on the front line, but the media is still very oblivious of her identity. However, the Celtics head coach was quick to apologize to the Boston franchise and his family. He said in a message posted on Malika Andrews' Twitter account that he wished to apologize to their players, fans, and the entire Celtic organization, and also his family for letting them down. He said he regrets putting the team in this difficult situation and accepts the team's decision. TMZ reported that Udoka did try to keep the affair away from his fiancée Nia Long, even though his team suspected it for months. They also said that the actress moved to Boston recently, house hunting with their son. Nia Long spoke on the matter, keeping it as short and vague as possible. She said the outpouring of love and support from her friends and family during this trying time meant a lot to her. She also requested that her privacy be respected as she tries to process recent events. She ended by saying she would continue to focus on more important issues, like taking care of her children. Naturally, based on Udoka's exit from the Celtics as head coach, assistant coach Joe Mazzulla is expected to take over in the interim, since the Celtics are still pretty indecisive on Udoka's position after the season-long suspension. This could be a probable end to Udoka's career with the Boston Celtics, which is just tragic given how far he's gone with them. Do you feel the season-long suspension was fair for the head coach?